Hey guys and gals, it's Mr. Know-It-All here, and I've got to share something with you on this beautiful Pensacola day. Alright, let's get started. Now we're doing some painting in our house, and a lot of people really struggle with trying to learn how to caulk. And I'm going to give you the key things to caulking. Now we want to caulk the paint joint here because you can see no matter how good you tape it, you still come up with a raggedy edge. And of course, being an old tool and die guy, I'm really picky about my stuff. So here's one of the keys to having a beautiful caulk job. Cut your tube very small and cut it at about a 45-degree angle, okay? And then mark the back side of your caulk tube so that you know where to keep that pointed at me. When it's sitting like this, I know my 45's on this side. If it's sitting like this, my 45's on this side. So I'll keep that towards me at all times so I know exactly what I'm doing. And this is a really cheap junk caulking tool, and when you let off it, caulk will continue to come out. So there's a secret to it of keeping the gun going as you cock the lever back to get another squeeze on it. And when you squeeze the lever, you want to be moving continuously, and if you're squeezing the lever too much and too much caulk is coming out, you got to move the caulk gun faster. All right? And you want a nice damp cloth in your hand. You don't need it at this present moment in the game, but you're going to need it. So what we're going to do is run a bead of caulk from up here all the way down, and when we hit any little glitches, it's going to make the caulk gun jump. Now, one of the key things to this is to keep the dog from licking the back of your leg while you're doing this. Yeah, that's the distraction. So I want to see you try to do that. Caulk while you have a little black and white pestilent licking the back side of your leg because you're not paying attention to them. So I'm going to caulk this, and I'm going to go down, and I'm going to go at the speed that I want. Just a nice bead in there. You don't need any special tools and caulking tools or none of that, because believe it or not, these are the tools you're going to use. Man, pinky, index, and thumb. And it all depends when you run the caulk with your index finger or your pinky, you're going to keep your finger flat. If you go like this, you're going to gouge too much of the caulk out. All right? So let's try it and see if I can really monkey this up. And remember, always wipe the tip off. Keep it clean. Have a little bit come out so you get that dry stuff out of there. Now we're ready. I'll take the pressure off. Wipe it off. Here we go. Now I've got my blue mark right there. You won't be able to see it at the top very well, but we're going to try it. So I know where my 45 is. And you see the angle I have the caulking gun? A perfect amount of caulk I want right there. Now I'm going to let off on the handle. It's going to keep coming out. Don't worry if you miss a little spot there. Not a big deal. I'll show why. I'll show you why. I have a little bit of caulk up here and some down here. So what I'm going to do is, if I had a stool here, I'd actually run my finger up because I need to pull that caulk up. But I'm not going to worry about it at this present moment. So I'm going to take my pinky and I'm going to hold it nice and flat. I'm going to wipe that off. Do it again. Wipe that off.
Buscar en el show más de la descripción de video para todas las herramientas.
And your finger gets wet as you're doing it, which is fine. You want that. You don't want the caulk on the wall to stick to your finger. And the wetter your finger is, the more it slides right along. See that? Now watch. Okay, now if you get a little on the wall right here, no problem. Take a dry finger, Do that number. Okay, now I'm going to take another dry finger and go right along that and get the rest of that off because I'm a picky person. Okay, now we'll run this the rest of the way down. Flat finger. Pinky does the best in tight areas. No pun intended. All right, now say that you got a little on the wall and you don't want it there. You just take your wet cloth, you wipe it off. Take your pinky again. And see how it brought it right down to fill in that area. And that's how much you waste. Not much at all. Now, I can take this finger and run it up like that. And that is a beautiful caulk job right there. Now, we'll get to the top and I'll take my caulk gun and I'll put just a little tiny dab at the top. Little tiny dab right there. Now run that down. All right, here's your quick tip of the day. Now, when you're doing a paint job like we are here, this is our paint corner, it's a catastrophe. You take a chance of getting paint on your carpet or on your flooring. If the paint has been there less than 48 hours, you can clean it up very quickly, just like this. Take your old 99, put a little spray on there. And your Scott towel, go over it a few times. Gone. That's your quick tip. Mr. Know-It-All, out.